Hey neighbors, Brent here coming to you from the front porch. There's the front door down there, and I wanted to show y'all also we've got the side porch over here, and the sports field is coming in really nicely. I'm over here today at the far corner of the building because there is work happening, hence the helmet and the glasses. Hey, we've been in this sermon series for 3 weeks now, and as I admitted to you this past week, leadership is something that I really want to learn how to do well. I'm what I call a leadership junkie. And if you've been in worship, you know that I'm co-preaching sort of with John Maxwell, with the John Maxwell Study Bible in one hand and my normal study Bible in my right. And just seeing how the people of God, the people throughout the scriptures have exhibited the particular leadership qualities that John Maxwell has decided are indispensable in the life of a leader. And as we've gone through this series, I have recognized that there are a lot of leadership skills that I don't naturally possess. There are some that I do, and I look at those, I'm so excited that I don't have as much work to do because they're more natural to me. But more often than not, I'm running into these leadership principles that actually are going to take some time and some effort on my part to learn how to do them well. They say, I've heard it said, and you have too, that it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But what if maybe we are not old dogs learning new tricks, but rather old dogs learning old tricks? Hang with me here. So my car, I've told some of y'all that my son has now turned 16, so I've given him my Honda. That truck back there is a really old red pickup truck that my dad's let me borrow until I find what I want to buy next for myself. But one of the things that I was reminded of when I hopped in that red truck for the first time in this past week is that it's a stick shift. And it's been a long time since I've driven a stick shift. Some of you may have never driven a stick shift because you remember how hard it was or how inconvenient it is, especially when you've tried to eat in one hand or you're trying to do things that you really shouldn't do while you drive. But anyway, I've been driving this stick shift, and it's brought back these memories of the first time I ever learned how to drive a stick. I was in a little Subaru that my mom and dad were letting me use, and it was a stick, and my dad would take me to the railroad tracks. And these weren't flat railroad tracks, these were railroad tracks on an incline. And he'd make me pull all the way up to the edge of the track at a full-on incline, and then stop. And then he'd say, okay, put it in first gear, and let's look both ways and go across the track. And I remember it would take forever to get across that track because every time I would try to push the gas without the clutch fully released, and the car would shake and it would turn off and we'd roll right back down that hill. It seemed like it was going to take me forever to learn that. But eventually I learned. And now I'm in an old stick shift truck of his, and I'm relearning something that I once knew. I'm wondering if maybe we are old dogs learning old tricks. For those of us who have been following Jesus for a long time, for those of us who have been leading others for a long time, maybe this series is just about remembering how to lead, remembering the effectiveness of these qualities. If we would just exhibit these qualities, we could lead people better into the way of Jesus. We could follow Jesus a little bit better. But then, if you've been reading your scriptures, you know that Jesus, when he talked to us, he wasn't trying to remind us of an old trick. In fact, he was trying to say, and the Bible says it all throughout, God saying, I am doing a new thing. My mercies are being made new every day. Jesus would say to his earliest followers, come and follow me. Let me teach you. Learn from me. Maybe the invitation during this series is that we would learn new skills, new tricks of the trade, that we would find new ways to follow after Jesus, maybe ways that we've never followed him before. So if you've been following after Jesus, chasing after Jesus, feeling like you've been faithful to the way of Jesus for a long time, maybe this sermon series is just about retooling, refreshing, relearning things that you've always known, things that you once knew. But if you've been coming to church or you're watching these videos and you've never really tried to follow Jesus, following the world seemed easy enough, I want to encourage you, before this series is over, to begin taking on these leadership qualities, to begin imagining what it would look like to lead others, but to lead them in the direction of Jesus. And then to remind ourselves that before we can lead anyone into the way of Jesus, we've got to learn how to follow him better. So maybe the invitation to you, if you've never accepted Christ, if you've never considered a relationship with him, maybe today the decision is, I've been following the world for a long, long time, and it's leading me nowhere. Now, God, I'm ready to follow your son. And make that decision today. Learn the new tricks of the trade. Learn the new ways of leading in this world. And I promise you, if you would first follow Jesus and let him lead your way, the people that you've got following you, the people that you're leading, they'll be led in a much better direction. Remember, if you're not leading people in the way of Jesus, you're leading them astray. This is a word for you this week. I hope that it resonates with you. I know it resonates with me. I'm going to let these guys get back to work, and I'm going to head into the office myself. Y'all have a great rest of your week. God bless you. Bye-bye.